95.5 KLOS, Southern California's rock station. We have a special guest on the phone. No way, man. No way.
It's happening.
No
yes way.
No way.
Yes way.
We're in charge here.
How are you doing that? How are you making that happen?
God bless you, Sluggo, for doing that. That's the greatest thing I've ever heard.
Never. Turn that off right now.
I love that.
Nope.
Hey,
Hey, Bean.
how does 1 second of rock work? How does that work? Can I play? Can I win the
Yes,
$1,000?
actually, yes.
How does it work? Seriously.
It's the same as, except for we use 1 second of any song in the middle and beginning wherever.
It's pretty tough. It's just literally a fraction of a second.
Can you play? No. Wait, I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I don't think so. No, you have to be caller 13. So.
Yeah, so
Oh, I see. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
Does anyone ever win? Have you actually given away $1,000 to somebody in the game?
It's actually $500, and we've given away $2,000, I think, on Friday.
yeah, it rolls over every time someone gets it
all right.
wrong. So yeah, the next time.
Wow.
Yeah.
This is big. This is big time radio. Let me say, Kevin and I are used to very janky prizes. The fact that you're actually like handing out hundies is pretty impressive. I got to be honest.
I was trying to explain to Doug when we were asking people to send us their T-shirts so that we could then give them away.
Yeah.
That was quite a deal. So Bean.
Yes, and remember, Kevin, back in the day when we could afford one billboard because we raised the money, our listeners raised the money for us to put up one billboard. And then rather than have billboards all over Southern California and then people could drive by and see us, we just had to give them the address of where our one was and they had to drive to it if they wanted to see it.
It was like in an alley off to the side somewhere.
It wasn't in a great location. No, really ever.
No, it was no. And Kevin, do you remember, honestly, the first picture that we got, you could only see about half of the billboard because there was an enormous tree in front of it.
It was like 75% tree, 25% billboard.
Trip Reed picked that one out personally for you guys.
How you been, man?
Well, let me say I'm doing great.
Okay,
I'm doing
good.
fantastic. I just had to pause. My wife and I are watching the third Bring It On movie. Hayden,
Not No Man Land?
Wait, hold on. Is this where the person comes in second place and says second place? Hell yeah!
The same series, but this is a different installment of the movie. This is the third one. So I had to pause that to jump on and talk to you guys.
Okay.
No, I'm doing great, and this is a thrill to talk
It's
to
so
both of you guys.
weird to hear you two together again. This is the first time since November 2019. Is that right? That you've been on the radio together?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean,
Wow.
we did an interview within a couple of weeks with Jim Rome, I think. That was probably officially the last time. But, yeah, I mean, I've missed you guys. And Sluggo, I mean, I go back just as far with you as I do with Kevin. So it's a thrill for, all three of us. This feels like a mini reunion of our station in Arizona. But I just want to say, because I don't know how long you guys are going to have me on.
Another 10, 15 seconds.
20.
As a radio geek, and Kevin, as long as you've known me, you know that radio is my thing, and it has been since I was a little kid. It's all I ever cared about, all I wanted to do. It's why I can't get laid, okay? Because all I care about is radio,
Is that
right?
what's going on?
Oh, that's very true.
Yeah, me too.
I can vouch for that. What?
Nothing.
Being on KLOS is such a thrill for me. Like, this is a gold star in my diary right now because this is one of the legendary radio stations in America. I mean, it has been rocking for more than 50 years, and just to be on the airwaves following people like Jim Ladd and Bob Coburn and Gino Michelini and all these classic names that Southern Californians know. I mean, it's just really cool.
But doesn't it get taken down a notch because I'm here?
Yeah, I mean, this isn't their finest hour, if that's what you're asking. No. When the history of KLOS is written, you will not be in the first 10 pages. But what I'm saying is, I can tell from hearing you, Kevin, that there's some, forget putting some zap in your staff, but there's a thrill in being in a radio station that has that intangible vibe that we used to love so much at K-Rock back in the old days. And there have been other stations, KMET, other stations, in the market that have had that. But there are some stations you can just tell when you walk in the front door, when you walk down the hall, when you put your butt into the air chair, that it's happening and it's fun and people are glad to be there and you can feel that connection with the audience. And I don't think I'm making any of this up.
No, that's
it really
a fact.
does come through on the radio.
Yeah, it is a fact.
And Sluggo, you've been around a long time. I'm sure you were delighted to realize that when you got over to KLOS that was the vibe, right?
Oh, 100%. And that it is what it seemed like, and the listeners are as dialed in and as excited about KLOS as it seemed to be.
Sluggo's the one that got me interested in doing this.
Yeah.
He was texting me like crazy. I had to block him at one point. He's like, hey, we're having fun.
Yeah.
This is a situation where the program director doesn't listen or doesn't care, so it seems like we can do anything we want.
You can actually throw things on and have fun like, the early days of KROQ.
Exactly.
A few hundred years ago.
Yeah. Now, how are you? And forgive me, Kevin. You know my default position is I feel like I have to interview everybody that I'm talking to.
Of course.
I just have to. How are you dealing with the fact that you hate classic rock music? What are you doing about that?
I don't hate as much classic rock music as you would think, A. And B, KLOS is not super old.
Yeah.
It really has. I mean, we play the new Foo Fighters, for God's sakes.
Yeah, just a second ago, the brand new one from the yeah.
So it's really,
and I know that you guys have championed tons of new music. I mean, more than any other station in the market, perhaps. You guys are certainly for rock music. You guys, no, I'm serious.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
New music as well.
All right.
We have.
You
It's
guys-
just
I mean,
not
you
that
guys-
many people know.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I just remember, for so long, Sluggo, if a song gets to be over about 6 months old, Kevin is done with it. He is on to the next thing.
Yeah.
It's too old for him.
I don't have patience. If that's what you're saying, I don't have patience.
I can't imagine you putting on the headphones and going, "Yeah, man, give me some Hendrix,"
It happens.
Well,
all right, now, Bean, I do want to talk to you about the time change because this for a long time has been a burr in your ass. Is that where a burr goes?
yes, that's exactly where it goes.
Okay.
Saddle. It goes in your saddle.
Oh,
It
saddle.
It
Oh, I
does
thought
technically rub up against your ass.
Okay,
So,
good.
yeah.
The Los Angeles Times tweeted, daylight savings begins this weekend.
L.A. Times, daylight savings.
And Bean quote tweets and says, your intern who tweets is making you look terrible by misspelling saving.
When was the first time that bothered you? And did you know as an infant that it was daylight saving, or did you learn later? And when did you finally go on the warpath about this?
I mean, I don't remember, Kevin. You may remember when I started going on the warpath, but it's been decades. I'll tell you that. I mean, look. All of us have a thing that bugs us, and for whatever reason, this is the thing. Because it's not an opinion that it's daylight saving time. That's actually the name of it. Right. I mean, I don't have to school you guys about the Uniform Time Code of 1966.
Sure.
Oh no, that's one of my favorites.
Of course we don't.
Yeah.
It's actually called daylight saving time. I mean, it actually has a name, and it's just as easy as I've explained so many times before. It's just as easy to say it right. But I will tell you, two things have happened, Kevin, since you and I work together.
Okay.
Number one is I moved to a country where, while we do still have a time change, very similar to North America, we don't call it daylight saving time.
No.
Okay? So I go from Greenwich Mean Time to British Summertime.
Sure.
British summertime. Wow.
That really cuts out a lot of drama in my life to not have to worry about it.
Right, but hold on. You're on Twitter a lot, and you read.
Yes.
You see them
US
damn
stuff
stupid Americans still
lot.
over there
It
in the
has
colony.
It has to still drive you crazy.
It does, but I will tell you this, and you may look at this and you may go, wow, my friend is growing up. Dean is actually a little more mature than I once knew.
Okay.
Because I'm not saying I'm giving up, but what I am saying is we now live in a world where there's no such thing as right and wrong English. I mean, I don't know if you follow the new dictionary words, but irregardless is in the dictionary now.
And supposedly.
Supposedly is as well.
Supposedly.
That's unacceptable.
Bean, somebody tweeted me and said, are you the one writing for the dictionary.com?
So, I mean, I guess we're in a world now where literally, and I'm using that word correctly, any word goes. There's no such thing as an incorrect word. I mean, last week, Sluggo, you probably saw this. They put in some words from The Simpsons, right? Embiggen is in the dictionary now from a dumb Simpsons episode. So maybe it's the COVID. Maybe it's just we live in a world now with a pandemic where people think, well, I guess we just can't get worked up about the little things anymore. But it does bother me less than it used to.
Wow. So you're throwing in the towel as well. Everybody's throwing in the towel on the right things to do.
My little friend is growing up.
Yeah, that's amazing.
I mean, look, I would still prefer that people say it correctly, but I'm no longer going to track you down on the internet, find out where you live, and go burn your house down. I'm past that. I'm not burning anyone's house down anymore because I've done that too often.
If you ever need an arsonist, though, you know who to get a hold of. Just let me know, and I'm happy to help you. Yeah.
I gotcha.
Hey, what's going on? Forgive me for not knowing as much about the station. What's going on in the mornings over there? Is it still Jamie and Frosty and Woody or whatever that show's called?
It's Heidi and Frank.
Yeah, the Heidi and Frank show. I love that show.
Bean, I
Heidi and Frank. I know those guys.
Bean, I cannot tell you how great it is not to have to get. Yeah, you know how great it is to not have to get up.
Yeah, what's that like for you? It's been an interesting experience for him to wake up still at 4 a.m, but not have to be here until almost 4 p.m. How's it been for you not having to be up at the damn crack before the crack of dawn?
Well, I was lucky because the last few years that we did the show together on K-Rock, I lived in New Orleans, which is in the Central Time Zone. So I was used to going on the air at 7:30 a.m. Getting up around 6:30 a.m.
What about daylight savings? Did that change?
Oh, how dare you. Here we go. Here we go now. So I'm pretty much on the same schedule now. My normal body clock is around 6:30 a.m., so I'm doing great. And I love being back home here in England. I mean, a lot of people were really surprised when I decided to leave America.
Yeah, just the worst possible timing, though. I remember that first picture you tweeted of you on the tube with a ton of other British folk, and then like a couple weeks later, you were on the tube completely alone, by yourself. You've not been able to go anywhere, see Europe, anything since all this happened, right? Which is your whole point of going, right? So you should come back here and just come back to work, really, is what you should do. Give up this.
I can't complain. Everybody's been going through the exact same thing. Look at all the stuff that you guys look forward to. Look at the Coachella being canceled, all the stuff that, that we all wanted, all the vacations we wanted to go to, all the places we wanted to see. Yep. Yeah, I'm exactly in that same boat. But you're right. The timing was my wife and I were going to move to Europe, and hey, let's go to Barcelona. Hey, let's go to Prague. Hey, let's go to Istanbul. We had all these things planned, and of course, it's just all on hold. I mean, like they say all the time on the TV here, there's a light at the end of a very long tunnel, but at least we can see it. We're all heading in the right direction. I'm sure you guys have, some of you anyway, have gotten your jabs, as we call them, your first dose.
No, we haven't got our jabs
Sluggo and I have not gotten jabs yet. Yeah. But when they lower
I can't wait.
When they lower the age in California to 90, we'll be right there.
First in line.
So I have gotten my first one. I'm just waiting for my second one. So it's just, it's just a question of just being patient and just, keep calm and carry on. That's all we can do.
Yeah. So since you and your wife have been spending so much time together, how everything is good? Because it's always interesting as, people have had suddenly been thrust, as it were, into this situation with their spouses and mates. Sometimes they get along better, much better. Sometimes they find new things.
We've been doing great. My wife and I have been together for 30 years now.
That's amazing.
And, our lives have changed less than most people have as a result of the pandemic, because I was already working at home and was already pretty much a homebody. So we're used to spending a lot of time together.
Right there with you, man.
No complaints there. We do live near a very large, it's called the Heath, Hampstead Heath, which is 800 acres, and it's forests and it's streams and it's trees and it's valleys.
Wow.
And it's just a great place to get out. Every day we walk a couple of miles with the dogs out. So that fresh air and that exercise really makes a huge difference when you're housebound.
I don't even know you anymore.
Yeah, who are you?
What the
Who's
hell?
on the phone? Is this Ralph?
Fresh air outdoors walking? What?
I know, right?
What's happened?
It's great to have dogs because they kind of force you to think of somebody other than yourself. You know what I mean? They make you go out and do stuff with them because that makes them happy and that makes you happy, and you don't worry about the affairs of the world for a couple of hours.
I have a little tiny dog, so I can just take her out in the front yard and go right back in the house. 30 seconds later, yeah. We're done. We're done here.
I know we're almost at it, but I'm very happy. I'm very happy here. Very glad to have moved, and I was so excited, Kevin, when I saw the news, as many of your fans and our fans were, and the fact that you get to be with Sluggo, which I know is a joy, and B, get to be on such a good radio station. It's just wonderful. I'm so happy for you guys. I really am.
We are too.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, I really want to get a new thanks. I really want to get a new bit rolling because it's like 10 o'clock at night there for you, right?
Yes, that's right. Right now, because you've already had your time changed, we haven't had ours at 7 hours, usually it's 8.
Okay, so I would like to get a new let's bother Bean and wake him up sort of thing. I'm going to call you the
just
least
randomly,
expected, right? Yeah, randomly.
Tell us about your podcast real quick because we do have to go.
Yeah, let me put in a plug. I appreciate that. Our dear friend Allie McKay that Kevin and I worked with for all those years on K-Rock, she and I got together and started doing a podcast back in October. There's a free version of it wherever you get your podcast. It's called A Cup of Tea and a Chat. And then we also do a Patreon version.
Hello?
I think if you enjoyed the old Kevin and Bean show, you will enjoy A Cup of Tea and a Chat. We really do have a lot of fun, and it's a great community. So yeah, check it out, you guys, and I hope we all get to talk again soon here on KLOS.
Nice.
Glad you're doing well. Thank you, man.
Yeah, very cool to hear you again, especially the two of you. I know I'm speaking for lots of humans out there to hear the two of you talking together again on the radio. I mean, you're a massive part of this damn town.
Look, it's just love.
Yeah, it is.
It's all love.
And a little bit of love.
Bye, Sluggo. Bye,
right.
Kevin.
Bye, Bean.